Wordplay.
Please open your Sutra books to page 160 of the commentary and notes. Go to the third line from the bottom and read the scripture. The Buddha told the four heavenly kings, "Well done, excellent, immeasurable power and virtue will benefit beings of heaven and humans, future and present, bringing benefit to the country." Kitagaba Bodhisattva appears in Saha world, Jambudva, realms of birth and death, and rescues and liberates all beings suffering most. The Bodhisattva sincerely and gratefully accepts the Buddha's blessing, as well as the Buddha's entrustment and compassionate guidance. Especially in the Dharma-ending age, sentient beings are stubborn and hard to transform. He, with boundless compassion and immeasurable wisdom and skillful means, manifests in this world. Is manifestations. Among men and women, young and old, in all walks of life, he is present. If you're not insightful, you just won't see it. Those with clear eyes know they can see it all plainly. The Bodhisattva uses endless skillful means, working everywhere. It's not always a monastic. These days, people misunderstand Buddhism and think it's superstition which causes obstacles. If the Bodhisattva appears as a monastic, it's hard. Usually the Bodhisattva is a layperson. They all encourage people to do good and return to their hometown. Yesterday, some fellow practitioners brought these videotapes from Taiwan, kids reciting the classics. I listened to a few segments and I was really moved. The great principles spoken by the ancient sages and worthies aren't just their personal theories. What Confucius said was that just his own theory. Was what Laozi taught just his theory? Was what Shakyamuni Buddha taught just his theory? No, it's not. So what is it then? It's the teaching that accords with our true nature. It's the true nature of all beings, the genuine heart of everyone. It's the wisdom and calmness that naturally arise and are complete within all beings. This is what they were talking about. If you think it's just their personal view, then you've misunderstood. It's the wisdom and calmness that already exist within our own mind and nature, pure goodness, without any impurities. If you can bring this out, you can truly achieve sincerity and uprightness of mind, cultivate yourself, manage your family, govern the country, and bring peace to the world. Principles aren't about individuals. Their minds are pure and clear. They are kind, loving. When they realize this, what in Buddhism we call seeing the true nature, they see it. We are all confused and deluded. We haven't seen it or realized it. I haven't realized it yet. I'm not connected to it. So, how can we actually realize it? Go self, teachings attachment. How do we break through attachment to the teachings? With every thought, think only of others. Don't think about yourself. With every thought, think only of the Dharma. A work, a mission, is the Dharma. What is the Dharma? Buddha means enlightenment, Dharma means method, and the method to make all sentient beings enlightened is called Dharma. If you use methods to help all sentient beings awaken, then you are spreading the Dharma. Today, in this world, the work we do, in modern terms, you could say we are social educators. That's easy for everyone to understand. What did Shakyamuni Buddha do when he was in this world? Social education. And it is mandatory. He didn't charge a single cent to those receiving the education. It was completely voluntary. He was a volunteer social educator. We are students of the Buddha, and we must continue the Buddha's wisdom and life. The Buddha did this, and we, his disciples, should work hard to continue this work. We should excel in social education. The recipients of social education are all sentient beings. It doesn't matter if they are male or female, young or old, rich or poor, noble or humble, or even from the heavens or the human world. All beings in the 9 realms are treated equally. So we need to learn to be teachers and role models. A teacher is an example for the whole community, and a role model sets the standard. If we fail, feel ashamed. When we reflect on our intentions, can our hearts serve as an example for everyone in society? Can our words and actions serve as an example for everyone in society? We need to keep thinking about this often. If something can't set a good example for society, we absolutely mustn't do it. If a thought can't be a good model for society, we absolutely mustn't let it arise. Only by doing this can we receive the protection and blessings of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and the support of heavenly dragons and good spirits. We are actively promoting this social education. Singapore has achieved this level of success. Layperson Lin Muyuan and his fellow practitioners, as well as the staff under him and all 4 groups of practitioners, have no selfish motives. Why haven't places succeeded? The Buddha has no discrimination, no preferences. Master Xiandao put it very well. It all comes down to being different from the crowd. The people in every place are wholeheartedly committed to serving others. They think about the Dharma and sentient beings, not for themselves. Then they will receive incredibly remarkable responses, and these responses are very evident here for us to see. This kind of response to your actions is unimaginable. so we can set a good example here. Monastics should set a good example as monastics, and the temple should set a good example as a temple. We hope people will come here to study and receive guidance, and then establish this kind of example in different places around the world. Hopefully, they'll do even better than we have here. As we often say, the newcomers surpass the old, and that really makes sense. Why do the newcomers surpass the old? What's built later is always better than what came before, because the earlier ones have many shortcomings that can be improved upon. So the things done later on become even more outstanding and better. Only in this way can we truly help all beings and resolve the difficulties of this world. We don't want everyone to come here to study and then not want to leave. Staying here for good, that's not ideal. After seeing this whole system, you should go back to your own places and put it into practice there. Only when proper Dharma centers are established everywhere can this world be saved. If you truly learn something and really understand the Buddha's teachings, then you'll have truly encountered the Tathagata's true spirit. So, I've already introduced the 4 heavenly kings to you, and now the World Honored One is telling the 4 heavenly kings to treat those above and below with respect. These terms we all need to understand clearly. Well done, well done. These 2 are well dones, each have a meaning. One is to praise that the question was asked so well, asking for the benefit and happiness of all beings. Now, you should know that many of these heavenly kings and deities are actually manifestations of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are not just ordinary beings. If they were truly ordinary people, they wouldn't be able to ask such questions. When people see me, they can't say a word nor ask a question. Those who can ask such questions are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, not ordinary people. The second well done is to praise them for skillfully, thoughtfully, and carefully protecting the world. Protecting the world well is what's truly important, and this word well is really, truly precious. They have skillful means and wisdom. How do they protect and support the world? Let the people in the world wake up by enabling people to suddenly realize and strive upwards. That's what it really means to protect well. So, when the Buddha teaches here, what's said in the Sutra is exactly the same as what I've just explained. Not only for you, but also for all the gods and humans in the future and present. These gods and humans are the sentient beings in the 6 realms. It just mentions heavenly beings and leaves the rest out, though and others actually means all 6 realms. The Buddha has special compassion for all sentient beings in the 6 realms. If you look further, when the Buddha was in the Triastriya heaven, his meaning was very clear. It wasn't just for the audience present in the heavenly palace at that time. This Dharma teaching would be passed down. There are countless listeners who weren't there in person, just like us now, facing this video camera. It's currently being broadcast live via satellite, as well as on the internet, and is rapidly spreading all over the world, reaching people everywhere. People now can hear us giving these teachings, and even after we pass away, these recordings will still be here. People at the back can still hear it. I've heard these recordings nowadays are made to such a high standard they can be preserved 200 years. We won't live that long. Even 200 years from now, people can listen to our recordings and see these images. All of us here are giving teachings and explaining the Dharma. In our daily lives, every action and every word we say, we must at least be responsible to the audience 200 years from now. This one sentence from the Master carries so much meaning, such profound significance and depth, especially when it comes to the important task of spreading and sharing the teachings of Kittagarbha with others, helping more people understand and benefit from them. Promoting the Kittagarbha teachings, it is indeed only the Kittagarbha Dharma that can truly save sentient beings in the 9,000 years of the Dharma-ending age. Confucian teachings are good, Taoist teachings are good, and the principles of Mahayana Buddhism are good, but now no one is willing to listen anymore. What is it that no one wants to listen to? If someone can recite a sutra once, that's already pretty good, but to actually practice even a little according to the sutra, that's gone. So, the Kittagarbha Dharma is called the fundamental Dharma. A few years ago, I traveled around several major cities on the east coast of the United States, giving talks on the essential meaning of Kittagarbha. Because the time was short, only 7 days in each place, there was no way to explain things clearly, just the main points. Some fellow practitioners asked me, "Master, aren't you dedicated to promoting Pure Land? Why are you lecturing on the Kittagarbha Sutra? Isn't that mixing things up or going off track?" That's a great question. I'm talking about Pure Land, focusing on practice. They asked, "What's the Kittagarbha Sutra?" Just one line in Pure Land. Which line? The Contemplation Sutra mentions the 3 blessings, the foundation of Pure Land practice. We promote the 3 blessings, 6 blessings, 3 studies, 6 perfections, Samantabhadra's supreme vows. This Kittagarbha Sutra is the first of the 3 blessings: filial piety to parents, respect for teachers and elders, compassion, not killing, and doing the 10 good deeds. Think about it. Doesn't the Kittagarbha Sutra talk about exactly this? I'm still on Pure Land, focused on dedicated practice and teaching. So now everyone understands. As you can clearly see, this whole sutra is summed up in these 4 lines. From here, Patriarch Yuan was able to grasp a phrase from the Avatamsaka Sutra, which says, "All is in all is complete." For the patriarchs, any one sutra contains all sutras, and all sutras can be encompassed within a single sutra. Not only that, but the patriarchs could even sum it all up in a single sentence. Isn't this exactly what the Buddha is telling us here? How wonderful! How wonderful! It said that in the 49 years, all the sutras can be summed up in a how wonderful. How wonderful it contains all the sutras, and it also contains every single phrase. These 2 words, how wonderful, can encompass all the sutras, and all the sutras can be contained within these 2 words. The Dharma is all-encompassing and harmonious. And why is that? I ask. So if you can truly understand this, it's like being fortunate enough to receive a single flower. But you've lost that sense of harmony. Order preventing mourning. So next, let's give a few examples. As for the 4 heavenly kings behind the scenes, they too respectfully wished to listen to the world-honored one. The world-honored one praised and approved of him, and they were all so dignified in a way that shows great respect and immense compassion. You see, this kind of sincere supplication, thoughtful contemplation, and humble attitude are all important things that we should genuinely strive to learn from. Only when you truly and wholeheartedly wish to listen, with an open mind, can you actually put it into real practice and make it a part of your life. This wish comes from a genuine, wholehearted willingness. Gladly accept it. To accept it means to follow the teachings and put them into practice. If you can't do that, then those full words, wish to listen, become meaningless. You absolutely have to follow through. Let's look at the next part. The Buddha said to the 4 heavenly kings, Kitigaba Bodhisattva, from countless eons ago until now, has been dedicated to liberating sentient beings, all out of his compassionate vows. In this life and this world, he focuses on the beings who suffer the most, and looking into the future in countless kalpas, as arrogance and delusion persist. For this very reason, he makes further vows. In fact, Kitigaba Bodhisattva is appearing here to teach us by example. What is he teaching us? He's teaching us that we must keep making vows, over and over. That's why in our morning and evening chanting sessions, we always make vows. Even in the Pure Land teachings, the Bodhisattva's treatise on rebirth clearly talks about the especially great significance of making vows, as is often emphasized. We should make vows regularly. Otherwise, if you go even just 3 days without making a vow, you'll likely forget about it completely. Ordinary people like us have heavy karmic obstacles and deep-rooted habits. Inside, we are full of delusions, discrimination, and attachments. Outside, we are constantly tempted by the 5 desires and 6 sense objects. Living in this kind of environment, if you don't read the scriptures and make vows every day, you simply won't be able to hold on. You'll definitely end up being swallowed by this tide. You'll keep caught up in cycle of birth and death, inevitably fall into 3 lower realms. We should always be on our guard at all times, remaining ever vigilant. In this raging, tumultuous torrent, in these wild, surging waves, we have to plant our feet firmly and steadfastly. If we slip up even a little, even for just a moment, we'll be swept away. So how can we keep our footing steady? That's exactly what the Kitigaba, Dazan, Dharma door is for. When a temple is established, I talk about the Kitigaba Sutra, and we have the ground beneath our feet. This temple was established without preaching this sutra. Fate is so good. To be able to receive the valuable and profound instructions of Elder Monk Ren, who, with deep compassion and wisdom, serves as the representative of Kitigaba Bodhisattva for all of us here today, is truly a rare and meaningful opportunity. He is the savior of beings in the final age, truly the mainstay. We follow Elder Monk. Right, we want to widely promote this Dharma method. Since this is a newly established temple, being able to give a talk on the Kittagarbha Sutra here really aligns with our original aspiration. It's truly a rare opportunity. So, this recording of the session will be widely distributed to help some of the newly established temples. We can't be everywhere at once, so we can't go and give Dharma talks in person. That's where this set of video recordings comes in handy. So, we need to appreciate that the Bodhisattva, from countless eons ago right up to today, why is it that after saving so many sentient beings, the Bodhisattva still hasn't fulfilled his great vow? It's just as the Sutra says, sentient beings are, indeed, stubborn and hard to teach. In every realm, the situation is, quite honestly, pretty much the same. Covered in moss and beaten to death. Opening our eyes to the Dharma, it's just as we've said, awakening feels so much lighter. That's the true reality of the Four Truths. Within every Dharma realm, there are 10 Dharma realms. From our sincere, truly heartfelt heart, with a single, mindfully focused thought of Amitabha Buddha, we enter the Buddha realm. With one thought of Kittagarbha Bodhisattva, we enter the Bodhisattva realm. Greed, anger, or ignorance lead to hell, hungry ghosts, or animal realms. The causes and effects of the 10 Dharma realms are constantly changing with every thought. This is the phenomenon of samsara. This is, in its most basic and essential sense, the fundamental meaning and true significance of reincarnation. We uphold the Buddha's final teachings, and we also read and recite the Mahayana Sutras. This is Kittagarbha Bodhisattva guiding us when we are led from the 3 evil paths to the human and heavenly realms, and even to the realms of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Our faith is stubborn and hard to change. Once we leave the lecture hall and put down the scriptures, we fall again, falling back into the hell, hungry ghost, and animal realms. Isn't this what we do every day? That's why Kittagarbha Bodhisattva, for countless eons, has to make vows every single day, always remembering us, the main culprits of these sins. Our faculties are, indeed, unreliable. Our power of making vows isn't weak, but our faith is fragile, no match for our vexations and bad habits. That's why the Bodhisattva sees it all so clearly. For countless eons, these entanglements never cease. This entanglement is a metaphor, like creeping vines, vines growing everywhere. Very hard to get rid of completely. It's a metaphor for our vexations and habits, which create karma and keep us endlessly trapped in samsara. Using these 4 words to describe it is just perfect. But the Bodhisattva doesn't lose heart. The Bodhisattva doesn't retreat. Oh, still.